I've been thinking, have you ever had a terrible night's sleep, then gone through the whole day like a walking zombie, yawning uncontrollably, fantasizing about the moment you can go back to bed? Then, that night, as quickly as your head hits the pillow, you're instantly wide awake. You are not alone. Today, we will talk about how it doesn't need to be this way with the secondhand advice from the book Sleep Smarter by Shawn Stevenson. Sleep can be a magical, rejuvenating experience, a time for restoring our bodies and refreshing our minds. And although the world seems intent on damaging the sanctity of sleep with phones, screens, and artificial lights, you can use modern research to combat this. Today, we'll discuss the principles of sleep science and their partnership with our physiology. I'll provide you with useful biology-backed tips, which will have you asleep faster and sleeping deeper. This understanding will have an instant, pronounced effect on your life. We'll talk about which hormones play a role in rest and recovery, why sleep is more invigorating during a particular time of night, and how houseplants can improve our sleep. Sleep is often neglected and undervalued. Rest can seem like a waste of time in our modern world, which values speed and productivity. If we're stressed at our job or drowning in a list of things to do, the first thing we sacrifice is our rest. This war on sleep is so acute that the typical sleeping hours have dropped from about 9 hours to 7. But there are issues with making sleep the adversary of productivity. When you deny sleep, not only are you slower and less innovative, but you also accomplish less. One key factor for this is that sleep deprivation decreases glucose in the brain, a vital carbohydrate that your gray matter uses as fuel. And this glucose starvation doesn't influence all parts of your brain the same. The most problematic areas are your parietal lobe and your prefrontal cortex, which are involved with analytical thinking and problem solving. Several studies have also shown that avoiding one night of sleep makes us as insulin resistant as a person with type 2 diabetes. An inadequate amount of this crucial hormone leads straight to weight gain, faster aging, and lowered sexual drive. Hence, rest is not the enemy of productivity. It is a required corrective state, essential for our physical and mental well-being. We cannot be healthy or operate at peak performance without premium sleep. So, what can you do to increase the quality of your sleep? When it concerns sleep, light is our friend and also our worst enemy. To understand this, we must discuss melatonin. This is a hormone created by our brain, and it has powerful restoration and antioxidant properties. Most importantly, it controls the body's circadian rhythm, our internal body clock, which tells us when to sleep. Our melatonin production is heavily affected by exposure to light. When the sun goes down, our bodies naturally release melatonin, making us tired. And people exposed to light early in the mornings will generate more melatonin in the evenings, enabling them to sleep quicker and in a much deeper state once they drift off. This is why we should try to take full advantage of light exposure during the day. It's incredibly vital to expose ourselves to sunlight early in the morning, since sunlight triggers our minds, organs, and glands to awaken and be alert. Attempt a brief walk in between the hours of 6 and 8:30 a.m. In the evenings, restrict your exposure to screens, starting 60 minutes before bed. Digital devices emit a rich blue spectrum of artificial light. Your body is susceptible to this light, and exposure to it at night prevents melatonin release, making it more difficult to sleep. Additionally, make sure you're sleeping in a pitch black room. Light isn't absorbed merely through our eyes, but also our skin. Even subtle glow in the room or daytime rays peeking through drapes inhibit melatonin production, which causes lighter and shorter sleep. Research has proven that light in bedrooms can reduce melatonin levels by over 50%, so blackout blinds are necessary for those sleeping after dawn. You may have heard it's okay to supplement melatonin. This can work, especially for insomniacs, yet there are risks involved. The primary risk is that by supplementing melatonin, you can hinder your body's capability to produce this on its own. Therefore, it should only be taken into consideration as a last resort. For quality sleep, timing is everything. Here are some timing pointers that will improve our nightly rest. First, we need to listen to our internal body clock by going to sleep within 30 minutes of the same time each night. We tend to get the message that we can minimize rest during the week and then catch up on weekends. However, this wreaks havoc on our circadian rhythms. Our bodies don't know when it's Saturday. We can't adapt rapidly enough to integrate our late night Netflix binges on weekends. If we go to bed at the same time each night, our body clock will run efficiently and we'll find it much easier to fall asleep and wake up. Second, we should follow the age-old adage, early to bed, early to rise. For centuries, evolution has conditioned human beings to respond to the Earth's patterns of light and darkness. Only in the last 150 years have humans begun to bypass this impulse with the light bulb's development. But 150 years is a fraction of time on the grand scale of evolution, and our bodies haven't adapted to our new nighttime behaviors. Finally, we should exploit the magic window of rest between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. This is when our bodies reach their peak production of hormones such as melatonin and human growth hormone. Sleep in this period is deeper and more restorative than rest after 2 a.m. It's easy to adjust your wake-up time if you do it wisely. If you usually wake up at 8 a.m. but want to get up earlier, don't try waking up at 6 a.m. right away. This will shock your system and create a negative association in your brain, which will make it even harder the next day. Instead, slowly push your alarm time back 15 minutes each morning until you've arrived at your ideal wake-up time. This technique uses much less self-discipline. To sleep comfortably, make good lifestyle choices. First, set a definite caffeine time limit. Caffeine is a nervous system stimulant. However, it has a half-life of 8 hours, meaning that 200 milligrams at 7 a.m. comes to be 100 milligrams at 3 p.m. and also 50 milligrams at 11 p.m. It remains in your body for an extended period. That's why we need to refrain from caffeine after 4 p.m. This allows our bodies to flush enough of it out that we can go to sleep. We should also suppress alcohol consumption in the evening. Although a couple of drinks may help us to go to sleep, it's incredibly disruptive once we're asleep, restricting the amount of time we spend in the much deeper stages of rest. Notably, alcohol hinders the REM stage, the one responsible for processing memory. So, alcohol-induced slumber is terrible for remembering facts and strengthening knowledge. Keeping a healthy mind and body is vital for a fantastic sleep. As we've learned, quality sleep is essential for preserving a balanced body and a sharp mind. However, the reverse is also true. A healthy body and mind are crucial if we want a good night's rest. Let's start with the body. Did you know that a significant benefit of exercise is better quality sleep? Exercise causes micro tears in our muscle tissue, which our body requires to fix. Our brain secretes many revitalizing anabolic hormones like testosterone and human growth hormone. All this repair means the body induces a more profound yet rejuvenating rest. Another great way to stay healthy and increase the quality of your sleep is to supplement with magnesium. This mineral is responsible for over 300 biochemical responses in the body, and it's great for lowering stress and relaxing our nervous system. Magnesium balances blood sugar levels, improves blood pressure, and relaxes muscles, which all equate to higher quality sleep. The best way to supplement magnesium is to apply it topically to your skin in lotion form. This is the most efficient method because much of this mineral's power is shed through food digestion, making oral supplements weaker. One way to provide ourselves with the best possible environment to rest in is to create a sleep sanctuary. Our surroundings significantly influence the quality of our sleep, so taking it seriously means taking our bedroom seriously by developing a sleep sanctuary. The bottom line is that our environments should have fresh, clean air and prompt feelings of calmness. Introducing houseplants into the bedroom is a great way to attain this. The organic sights and earthly smells given off by plants have been shown to induce tranquility and increase joy. Plants are also exceptional natural air filters. Having excellent air quality is essential when creating sleep sanctuaries. Plants transform carbon dioxide into oxygen and recharge the air's ions. One fantastic houseplant for you to try is English ivy. If there's one principle for sleep sanctuaries, it's this: keep work out of the bedroom. Bringing texts, phone calls, and emails into our sleeping space is one of the worst things we can do. It creates a spike in our cortisol levels, a hormone related to stress, anxiety, and wakefulness. Additionally, it leads our brains to develop a negative association with our bedroom, which subconsciously makes it more difficult to sleep there. And there you have it. All that's left to do is to enter your new sleep sanctuary to get ready for the best night's rest you've ever had. Let's review. Sleep is something to welcome, not an obstacle to overcome. With basic knowledge of the biological processes involved in sleep, some beneficial lifestyle changes, and creating your sleep sanctuary, you'll find yourself rapidly falling into a deep, renewing sleep, one that keeps you younger and healthier and keeps you at the height of your mental capabilities. So, what does your sleeping space look like? Have you created a sleep sanctuary for yourself? Comment below with your best advice. And please be sure to like and subscribe as well. And thank you for watching. Sometimes, even when we get the best sleep at night, people do funny things in their sleep. Here are some real-life examples of less than ideal sleep behavior. Dreaming you are falling off a cliff and actually falling out of the bed. A girl chopped off over 5 inches of her hair and kept it in a freezer bag. A teenage boy was sleepwalking and peed in the living room in front of both of his parents. How embarrassing and gross. Getting hungry in the middle of the night and eating something very risky like wasabi because of mistaking it for avocado. The message is clear. Sleep can be more dangerous than you think. Stay safe out there, folks, and sweet dreams. The most problematic areas are your parietal lobe. The most problematic areas are your parietal lobe. The most problematic areas are your parietal